Hey everybody. Hey everybody, this is Jillian. So I want to be honest with all of you guys here. If you're trying to get your friends and family on the Jilly juice because they have health issues, their whole premise is to get rid of their sickness. Their whole premise is to try to find a cure, to try to alleviate their suffering. There is no way that they're going to understand Jilly juice, especially when you introduce Jilly juice on the heels of their suffering from evolution, which they're going to have to face no matter what. You don't know how long it's going to take for them to actually heal on the J juice. So if they're looking for some kind of relief, they're not going to get it on J juice. If anything, it's going to upsurge their evolution because they're already experiencing a diagnosable condition, which means that they're so behind the eight ball, they have a lot to catch up to. They have to be mentally, intellectually prepared to go through the healing process. It's not for the faint of heart. So if you're recommending J juice because somebody has cancer, disease, and chronic illness, then they're going to have to understand that they're not going to find relief anytime soon. You know, a lot of my people on the J juice had to go through some shit to get the relief, the plateau that they were looking for, that respite from the evolution. You realize that evolution is painful. The reason why people are enjoying the J juice at some point is because they've paid their dues. They've gone through the hell and back. And now they're like me, I'm enjoying my plateau. And when I get exposed to a new virus, yeah, I feel tired. I get my period because the stupid viruses, which nothing wrong with them, but they evolve the body and I feel it on the days of my period and I feel the tiredness a couple days before. That's for women who have to evolve to the level of her environment. But if you have friends and family that have so many conditions and you're trying to recommend J juice for them, they're going to treat this like a cure and it's going to be completely the opposite of what they expect. You know, when you go to a doctor and you get a test and the test shows that you have high cholesterol, guess what the natural reaction for people when they go get a test and they find that their cholesterol is high? They start staying away from fat and sugar. They go on these diets when actually they should be eating things with cholesterol so their body doesn't try to have to overcompensate or compensate for the lack of nutrition they have in their food supply. So if you want to get rid of pain, you have to meet pain. You have to bring up the pain if you want to get rid of it because you got to face it. Everything that we've learned in our society is completely the opposite of what you actually should be doing if you want to live indefinitely. I mean, if you want to have just like a very predictable lifespan, then just, go in the holistic allopathic world and take their cures and play that game. But J juice is not something you recommend to people who are looking for a remedy, a cure, a shortcut. J juice is not a shortcut. You know how much shit I went through since 2016 to get where I am today? I've been through some hell. Those that are just starting the J juice because they have cancer, disease, and chronic illness, they got to go through probably not as much hell as I went through, but they have their own hell to go through. I didn't have as many predispositions, but I had a lot of social issues that I had to deal with. I had to deal with the fact that my idealism didn't necessarily match the world, so I had to find a way to substantiate my idealistic dreamer way of looking at the world, and I had to abide by the laws of advertising, the laws of just human relationships, human communication. I didn't necessarily have to deal with like cancer, disease, and chronic illness, but I did have definitely hormonal imbalances. And I had to deal with the fact that every single time my body has to evolve, I have to feel pain. Because even though you reverse all your issues, your known issues, every time there's a new virus in the environment, your body's going to have to recalibrate. Now, every evolutionary leap that you go through when you get exposed to new viruses, the intensity is going to lessen every evolutionary leap, but you still have to deal with the predispositions that are in your DNA that you've incurred through lifestyle, through predispositions, through family medical history. I have resolved the fact that a lot of people in my world who have so much cancer, disease, and chronic illness in their history, they're not going to do the J juice because they're not strong enough, for one. And number two, they don't have a support system to really give them what they need to be able to heal. So they're relegated to a very predictable lifespan, of which I got to watch. I don't love it. And so it comforts me to know that there are people in my work that are in relatively close, not super close, but close enough, that are doing the J juice, that will get the benefits, that will share their experiences to give hope to people, not only in their world, but the rest of the world outside of their spheres of influence. Okay? And so you guys do not be selling J juice as a cure, as a remedy, as something to do when somebody just gets diagnosed or they have health issues. That's not the right way to go about doing it. Because let me tell you, they don't want to feel any more pain. They've been suffering for a long ass time. So unless they're mentally ready to deal with their issues, don't be recommending J juice. Especially if you're looking at Wikipedia and they're doing a Google search on J juice, they're going to see everything under the sun. Because you're going to get a point of view of people who don't want to deal with pain. You're going to get a point of view. People think that Jilly juice is killing people because their perception of pain is the fact that it is not something that people need to experience. And so they're looking for a cure. If you're upset about Wikipedia, who is just parroting what BuzzFeed, Newsweek, Daily Mail, and Dr. Phil and all the mainstream rags, well, first of all, you can't stop people from looking at that. So I already tried to go to Wikipedia and change some of the stuff around. Oh no, they got me like that. They got me so quick. They're like, you're not going to change this, Jillian. We know who you are. You're not changing a lick of a word in here. Because it's still a perception. And it's viable. Hey, we have 50 million truths and belief systems. And I can't say that that belief system is wrong. Because everyone's entitled to their lifestyle, their belief system. So as long as it's not breaking the law. So if someone doesn't want to feel pain and a doctor and a medical professional can find a way to alleviate their pain, then that's their lifestyle, that's their belief system, that's what they choose to go, that's the road they chose to go down. And so when someone is looking at websites from Dr. Phil, BuzzFeed, Newsweek, Daily Mail, whatever, Pathos, and Wikipedia, they're looking from the perception that pain is bad and you're supposed to die someday. So if that's already their perception, then they're not going to understand J juice at all. And you're not really giving them the right information. Give them my freaking website. Give them my book. Have them follow me on Facebook. And if they don't want to do that and they want to have a substantiation through mainstream media, they're not going to get it. And they wouldn't be a candidate for J juice anyways because they're looking for relief that is not earned. And so the savior complex of those of you that are trying to ram J juice down people's throats when they're suffering needs to stop. Okay? Because you'll misrepresent J juice. It will be a very easy misrepresentation. And so J juice is an earned thing. If you actually experience, this is for a guy named Josh, if you actually experience the benefits of J juice and people see the difference in you and they know what hell you went through to get there, then they can understand what it takes to get there. But if you're not even doing J juice and you have nothing to offer as far as the benefits and you haven't even proven that you've gone the miles and miles that you should be on J juice, why the hell would you introduce this to someone unless you're trying to be a savior and give them something that you think is going to give them relief? No, I'm sorry. It will be the complete opposite. And so many of you that have been on my protocol, who I have not heard from in a long ass time, bless your heart, you don't have to. But believe me, you haven't probably earned the right to actually promote J juice, which means that you need to actually experience the benefits first and be the example instead of trying to find the trendiest thing on the market out there that has all this controversy. And oh God, Jillian, immortality. Oh my God. I've been through the process to get to where I can speak about immortality. I did not earn the right to use the word immortality until within very recently. Do you have the right to promote J juice? If you haven't experienced the benefits and you haven't gone through the shit and you haven't found a way to articulate Jilly juice without using it as a cure, as a savior thing. If you haven't experienced those benefits, then you shouldn't be promoting it. You have to be the example. You cannot just say, okay, Jilly juice, because it's the latest trendy thing that you happen to belong to, but you're not even doing it yourself. And if you are, you're doing it very minimally that no one can see the difference or even notice the intellectual difference, much less the physical difference. So dispense with you telling me that someone needs to change Wikipedia. Oh no, I'm fine with Wikipedia and what it says. I'm fine with the way Dr. Phil. Because when you actually watch my latest videos, and you actually read my book, I have the substantiation and I have a different belief system. People shouldn't die and cancer is evolution. Well, yeah, you tell that to a cancer patient. Cancer is evolution. It'll bring you immortality. And they'll be like, shut the hell up. Who the hell are you? So don't even try to promote Jilly juice if you haven't even shown people in your world what it's done for you. Like serious, because you have no credibility at that point. All right, bye.